Effective Communication, Week 4. Building competence through communication reflection. Objectives. At the end of the lesson, students are expected to identify and explain key processes in personal and interpersonal communication. Describe the different dimensions of communication and their applications. Classify types of speeches according to purpose and method of delivery. Identify components of non-verbal communication and give real-life examples. Reflect on personal communication strengths and areas for improvement, and apply strategies to enhance verbal and non-verbal communication skills. Pick a topic talk. Place slips of paper with keywords or topics from previous lessons in a bowl. Ask each student to pick one word from the bowl. After picking, they must share what they have learned about the topic written on the slip. Activity 1. Say it like you mean it. Tone and body language exploration. The teacher will call 3 student representatives to act out a phrase or a short group of sentences. Each student will deliver the same line, but in 3 different versions. Each student representative who participates will receive 5 meta strips as a reward. Phrase. Oh, look who finally decided to show up. We were all waiting just for you. Version 1. Genuine and warm, welcoming tone, friendly smile, open posture. Version 2. Sarcastic, eye roll, exaggerated tone, hands on hips. Version 3. Irritated, cold tone, stiff posture, arms crossed. PCS questions. How does the meaning change in each version? How would you feel if someone said this to you? 2. Phrase. I can't believe you actually did it. That was amazing. Version 1. Excited and proud, enthusiastic tone, clapping, wide smile. Version 2. Mocking, smirk, raised eyebrow, slow clapping. Version 3. Surprised but doubtful, confused tone, furrowed brows, tilted head. Report questions. Which version feels sincere? Can tone turn a compliment into an insult? 3. Phrase. I was just trying to help, but if you don't want it, fine. Version 1. Apologetic, soft tone, looking down, slumped posture. Version 2. Defensive, firm tone, raised voice, arms crossed. Version 3. Passive-aggressive, fake smile, shrugging, dismissive tone. Processes questions. How can the speaker's attitude shift based on tone? Dimensions of communication. Verbal communication. This is the communication with the use of words. Non-verbal communication. This is the communication with the use of non-words like gestures, body language, facial expression, eye contact, etc.
Dimensions of communication. Oral communication. This is also known as a spoken communication. Written communication. This is the transcriptions of thoughts and ideas into letters and symbols. Formal communication. It is the careful and meticulous observation of appropriate dress, language, and setting.
Informal communication. This refers to the use of more customary casual approach in communication.
Processing questions. How do the words we choose affect the clarity and tone of our message? In what ways can facial expressions or body language support or contradict what we say? Different types of speeches, according to purpose, delivery. different types of speeches, according to purpose, delivery. Different types of speeches according to purpose. Different types of speeches according to purpose. And according to purpose is to inform, PR, 𝗙𝗙𝗙𝗘𝗖𝗧𝗜𝗢𝗡, C, to instruct and to entertain. So we don't know, 𝗙𝗙𝗙𝗘𝗖𝗧𝗜𝗢𝗡, all the persuade. These are not mutually exclusive of one of the little. Of one of the little hall, you may have several purposes in 𝗙𝗙𝗙𝗘 giving your presentation. What are this purpose of a speech will generally fall into one of 4 basic types. 1. More speech. This in provide interesting information to your audience. 1. The formative. Example. A teacher telling students about earthquakes. A student talking about her research. 1. East formative. Example. A travelogue about the Tower of London. A computer programmer speaking about new software. A 𝗙𝗙𝗙 sensitivity. This has many similarities with an informative speech. A demonstrative speech also teaches you something. The main difference lies in including a demonstration of how to do the thing you're teaching. Errors demonstrative. Example. How to start your own blog. How to bake a cake. How to write a speech. How to just about anything. 3. 𝗙𝗙𝗙𝗘𝗖𝗧𝗜𝗢𝗡. A persuasive speech works to convince people to change in some way. They think, the way they do something, or to start doing something that they are not currently doing. Improve your health through better eating. 3. Persuasive. Example. Television violence is negatively influencing our children. Become a volunteer and change the world. 4. Insectaining. The after-dinner speech is a typical example of an entertaining speech. The speaker provides pleasure and enjoyment that make the audience laugh or identify with anecdotal information. 4. Entertaining. Example, excuses for any occasion. Explaining cricket to an American. Things you wouldn't know without the movies. Effective preparation requires identifying the purpose of your speech. Once you've identified your purpose, you can move on to the objective of your speech. Guess the purpose. Identifying the intent behind the message. You delivered a news report about recent school events during the morning flag ceremony. You gave a step-by-step guide to your group mates on how to properly conduct a science experiment. You performed a spoken poetry piece during your English class culminating activity. You wrote a campaign speech encouraging your classmates to vote for you as class president. You explained the key points of a historical event during a group presentation in 𝗙𝗙𝗙𝗘𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 funny figure for a TLE activity. 7, you shared a funny experience during your vacation while the class was waiting for the teacher. 8, you tried to convince your parents to let you join an educational field trip. 9, you posted an announcement in your class group chat about the upcoming deadline for a project. 10, you created a short skit with your friends for a class performance to make your classmates laugh. Different types of speeches according to delivery. これ. Chapter 1. Impromptu speaking. It is the presentation of a short message without advance preparation. Impromptu speeches often occur when someone is asked to say a few words or give a toast on a special occasion. The advantage of this kind of speaking is that it's spontaneous and responsive in an animated group context. The disadvantage is that the speaker is given little or no time to contemplate the central theme of his or her message. As a result, the message may be disorganized and difficult for listeners to follow. Impromptu speeches are generally most successful when they are brief and focus on a possible T. Ask students to share their example. 2. Extemporaneous speaking. Extemporaneous speaking is the presentation of a carefully planned and rehearsed speech, spoken in a conversational manner using brief notes. 2. Extemporaneous speaking. By using notes rather than a full is the manuscript, the extemporaneous speaker can establish and maintain eye contact with the audience and assess how well they are understanding the speech as it progresses. Extemporaneous speaking has some advantages. It promotes the likelihood that you, the speaker, will be perceived as knowledgeable and credible. In addition, your audience is likely to pay better attention to the message because it's more engaging verbally and non-verbally. The biggest available speaking is that it requires a great deal of preparation. Very hard. If you have over similar time, this is nonverbal time, that if you have over stoppable time and the paralleles as both. Ask students to share their example. 3. Speaking from a manuscript. The advantage to reading from a manuscript is the exact repetition of original words. Ask students to share their example. Full finisher. Speaking from memory. Memorized speech requires you to commit the speech to memory so that you do not bring your notes when delivering it. When it comes to speeches, memorization can be useful when the message needs to be exact and the speaker doesn't had confined by notes. The advantage of memorization is that it enables the speaker to maintain eye contact with the audience throughout the speech, promoting Ask students to share their example. Spot the style. What's the speech delivery? You stand in front of the audience and read every word from a written speech you prepared days before. You confidently deliver a dramatic piece you practiced repeatedly without looking at any notes. Your teacher calls on you unexpectedly to share your opinion about a topic, and you speak based on what comes to mind. You speak in front of the class using an outline to guide you, but you don't rely on a word-for-word script. Component of nonverbal communication. Components of nonverbal communication. Gestures, facial expressions, posture, and physical appearance. Paralanguage, haptics, physical distance, proxemics. Components of nonverbal communication. Gestures. At capital are movements of the hands, arms, or body that convey messages or emotions without words. They often accompany speech or stand alone to express thoughts. Example, nodding your head to indicate agreements or giving a thumbs up to show approval. Components of nonverbal communication. Facial expressions involve movements of the facial muscles that reflect emotions and reactions. They are one of the most powerful forms of nonverbal communication. Example, smiling to show happiness, frowning to indicate confusion or disapproval, or raising your eyebrows to express surprise. Components of nonverbal communication. 3. Posture and physical appearance refers to how you carry your body, while physical appearance includes grooming, clothing, and overall presentation. These affect how others perceive you and your confidence level. Example, standing tall with your shoulders back shows confidence. Slouching may indicate tiredness or lack of interest. Wearing neat, appropriate clothing gives a professional impression. Components of nonverbal communication. 4. Paralanguage refers to the vocal elements that accompany speech, such as tone of voice, pitch, volume, and speaking speed. It affects how the message is interpreted. Complement or contradict the meaning of what you're trying to say. Example, saying, "I'm fine" in a cheerful tone shows you're truly okay, but saying the same words in a flat or sarcastic tone might mean the opposite. 4. Paralanguage. Example, during a class recitation, talking to a crush. During a family argument, saying, "I'm fine." After a fight, comforting a friend. Components of nonverbal communication. Number 5. Haptics. This is the use of touch in communication. It can express feelings, build connections, or show support, depending on the context and culture. Example, a handshake during a formal greeting, a pat on the back to encourage someone, or a hug to show comfort and affection. Components of nonverbal communication. 6. Physical distance. Proxemics. This refers to the space between people during interaction. Distance can indicate closeness, formality, or discomfort. Example, standing close to a friend during a casual chat versus keeping more space when talking to a teacher or a stranger. 6. Physical distance. Proxemics.
Examples.
Talking to your best friend during lunch. You sit or stand close, lean toward each other, and speak softly, showing comfort and closeness.
Chatting with a stranger while waiting in line. You naturally leave space, usually at least 2 to 3 feet, to maintain social boundaries and avoid discomfort.
Instructions. The teacher will display 10 situational prompts on the plasma screen. Each situation represents a specific type of nonverbal communication. Students will be asked to identify the type shown in each scenario. Those who wish to answer must raise their hands. A correct answer earns the student 3 metastrips.
A student gives a thumbs up to a classmate who just finished presenting. During a serious conversation, one classmate smirks and avoids eye contact. While answering a question, a student stands tall with their shoulders back. A learner reads their reflection with a shaky voice and speeds through the lines. After a classmate starts crying, another gently taps them on the shoulder. 6. In a group activity, 2 members sit close and whisper, while others stay seated far apart. 7. A participant waves both arms to get the teacher's attention during a game. 8. When praised, the students' eyes widen, and they slowly smile. 9. A speaker walks confidently on stage, dressed neatly and holding their head high. 10. During lunch, someone tells a joke, and the group responds with different kinds of laughter. 6. In a group activity, 2 members sit close and whisper, while others stay seated far apart. 7. A participant waves both arms to get the teacher's attention during a game. 8. When praised, the student's eyes widen, and they slowly smile. 9. A speaker walks confidently on stage, dressed neatly and holding their head high. 10. During lunch, someone tells a joke, and the group responds with different kinds of laughter. Silent signals, bringing nonverbal cues to life. Silent signals, bringing nonverbal cues to life.